Shimming should occur directly behind each hinge location on the door unit. Begin by taking an accurate measurement of each hinge location on the side of the door. Our installer has simplified the task by placing a piece of tape on his 6-foot level to indicate each hinge location. Next, simply transfer those measurements to the hinge side rough opening stud with a pencil mark as a reference point. If your rough opening stud happens to be bowed as this one is, don't worry, the shims will take care of the problem. On the opposite stud, use the same measurements as you did before for the top and bottom pencil marks. However, the center mark should be made where the doorknob will be located. This is known as the strike location. Next, remove your SureFit shims from their packaging. Notice how the base plates have a thin end and a thick end. Also, one side is smooth and the other side has an X-brace for support. Now it's time to mount 6 base plates, 3 on each side of the rough opening studs where you made your pencil marks. The X bracing goes against the stud and the thin end of the shim points away from the direction the door opens. The base plates can be attached with nails, screws, or staples. On the hinge side of the rough opening, insert one shim into each of the base plates. Be certain to insert the thin end of the shim into the thin end of the base plate. Using a level, slide the shims in or out to achieve plumb. Take your time. You want to make certain the unit is perfectly plumb or straight. Next, drive a nail, screw, or staple through the entire shim unit and into the stud. This will secure the shim unit in place. Our next step is to remove any excess shim. As our installer is seen doing here, use a utility knife to score and remove any excess shim on both sides of the stud. The shims on the opposite side will be inserted later. We are now ready to begin installing the door unit. Begin by placing the door unit into the rough opening and sliding it tightly against the pre-shimmed hinge side stud. While keeping it tight against the shims, nail through the door jamb and each shim unit into the hinge side stud to keep the door in place. Now move to the opposite side of the door and begin by inserting one of the 3 remaining shims into the top base plate to fill the gap between the door jamb and rough opening stud. Next, drive a nail through the door jamb and shim unit into the rough opening stud. And finally, score and remove any excess shim. Repeat this process for the middle and bottom base plates. Your door unit is now shimmed. All that remains is applying your selected door casings.